Okay, so we're recording now. So we're gonna do a couple of different things tonight. The last 2 days has been a lot of information. For some of you, it was fill in the blanks for questions that you already had. For others of you, it may just be brand new to you. More importantly, anybody who get this deep into these processes, it can be kind of like a shock. You know what I'm saying? Because you hear it all of the time. You're branched off into it, but now when you can physically see it on their forms, it's like aha moment, right? And actually during this process in a whole, you actually go through the stages of grief with this process, because you go from being shocked to being mad. You know what I'm saying? But I be wanting y'all to get to the end of the grief process where you like, I'm ready now to take back what belongs to me. Okay. So the first thing I'll do is, if you have any questions over what we covered the last 2 days, if it ain't about the last 2 days, don't ask me. And you get a question. Don't be like, oh, let me ask them. No. Because you need to get other people opportunities to ask a question. Okay. So I want to get a few questions, because I don't believe in constantly moving on and you're stuck on something, because it'll make it hard for you. Okay. If you're stuck on something we said on day 1, day 3 gonna be like, oh my God, you're putting something else on me and I haven't processed it all the way. Okay. The first question that I want to ask you guys is, especially you guys who've been with me for a minute, who's taken my classes before, how did you guys like the 3-day series? How we gave you a little bit each day and we did it in order. Did that help you guys understand it better? Was it too much? Did you guys like it? Because at the end of the day, we're doing this for you guys so that y'all can have a better understanding. How do I stop there from doing that? For y'all to have a better understanding, to be able to get, your process is done. So did y'all like that? Is that cool? Shake your head, throw something at the screen, say something. Okay. Because that's what our goal was. So I will take a few questions. Please limit your questions to 1.
And if your question is not related to the topics, please don't. On topic questions only. I will mute you.
Boom. All right. I guess I'll do 30 minutes of questions. That'll make it to like 8, and then we can go ahead with or maybe like to 7:45 or so. So you can pick a person to start. Please only ask me a question concerning to what we already went over, please. So you can go ahead, you can find somebody, pick somebody, ask your questions. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Rhea Bay.
Thank you. So for our car contract, we actually have 2 signatures throughout the entire contract, including in the place where it says that you can't modify the contract without their prior written consent. So it's an electronic signature, but it's still a signature. So are we still able to do the modifications that you spoke of, crossing things out and initialing it? Or are we going to have to take a different approach because there is technically 2 parties who signed on that contract?
And who are the 2 parties?
The other party was just a representative from the dealership, right?
I think so.
Or maybe the finance manager. There's no title after. It's just a person's.
Yeah, it's like pre-send or.
Yeah, it's like a pre-electronic signature that they put on there.
No, you can still do the process. As we get into the lesson tonight, you will understand that you left a how can I put this? You left a security wide open because of how you signed it, right? So that's why you ended up getting a title that was with a lien on it. And they reassigned the debt to you because you didn't endorse it properly. So regardless of the other signature or et cetera, in order to make that contract whole under valuable consideration, yes, you can still change it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. And as I go into the lesson more tonight, you'll understand why I said that. Okay. All right, you can pick somebody else.
All right, let's take a look. A. Douglas.
Hi there. Was just wondering here, can this process be used on something that you've defaulted on?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All righty. Who's next? Let's pick the shuffle. Summer Raphael. The day is your time.
Thank you. I just raised my hand, so thank you. My
I saw
question
that.
is, I had a vehicle, but it is totaled, but I do still have the contract. Um, how would I go since I don't have possession of the vehicle anymore? Do I just still go through the process as normal?
Yeah, you can still
Are they
go
still
back and do.
charging you for it?
Oh, yeah.
No, no, it actually got the vehicle actually got paid off because it was the other person's fault, so it got paid off.
Yeah, I was
But
just
I
gonna say you can still get the
go
money
ahead.
from the contract, even if because you're in possession of it, you're a holder of it, so you can still do all the same things, even if the car is totaled. The car could be in Mexico, and you could still do the same thing, because you have the contract, which means you can get an audit ran. You can do all the same steps. That's
Okay,
then that security. Mhm.
okay. Thank you.
No problemo. All right. Who am I picking next? Stanley Steele. Now is your time.
All right. I wanted to know if I could use it seemed like I remember Ms. Tamika saying it on one of the videos, but I wasn't sure. Some of the mortgages that I've already paid off, I don't have the paperwork anymore. So like how would I go about that process?
What exactly are you attempting to do?
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't finish my question. I wanted to, sorry about that.
It's okay.
To actually, have the banks to tender my securities to my TDA.
So you're not in possession of the physical contracts anymore, and you're
No,
trying to go back and collect the money.
yeah, it's just
Is what it
properties
sounds like.
I bought a lot of properties and sold them over the years. I was just wondering, like,
So
is it
are you able to contact the companies and get copies of those contracts?
well, I called one company and they said that they didn't have, since I didn't have I think the person just didn't want to help me. But she said that she did, there was no way she could get like a copy of the paperwork. But I think I maybe called I didn't speak to the right person. But I was wondering if there was some way, like online, like maybe some repository or something I could locate all that.
I'm not sure of anything like any online thing. Maybe Auntie knows, but if there was a way for you to actually get copies of those contracts, loan numbers, anything that could help identify those loans as belonging to you, we might
Mhm.
be able to do something, but without any kind of identifying information for them,
Mhm.
I'm not sure how you would go back and find those documents.
Okay.
You have to get a financial forensic audit, and it depends on how long ago it was. Cause how long ago was it?
Well, one was la 2021, and yeah.
So with that one, what you have to do is you will have to get a financial forensic audit ran on there so that you can get the Q-stub number for it, because there is no statute of limitations on fraud itself. You will have to get the audit done, and then you can still endorse it. But with that, because it's already paid off, you're gonna have to sue them.
Okay. You said you had a person that we can use for auditing, right? Thought I heard you say that like maybe the first night.
Yes, I do. Because
Okay.
all audits are not created equal. Yeah, I got somebody for you guys.
Okay.
Because if you get an audit and it's not sufficient enough, it's just basically giving you nothing.
Okay.
And you don't want just nothing. So yes, I will provide the information for the contact for the auditor so that you guys can get the audits done.
Okay. And I was having trouble funding my TDA. It just didn't seem that user friendly to me. Are you gonna do like a walkthrough on that?
Is that another that another question?
That is
Maybe I
another
should
question.
have phrased it as a statement. Maybe if you could do a walkthrough on that, that would be. Thank you.
There is there is a TDA class in my bio, TDA 1 and TDA 2, and a TDA question and answer on my bio. I've already went over that. So you can go that way. And then you can also go on their website and put in funding your treasury direct account, and they will also tell you.
Okay.
But yes, even getting that audit though, you still need that information to be able to get it done in the first place. So if you can get your hands on that information, we can definitely go. Oh, they can just do it off the address?
Yeah, you can just do right.
That's
They
crazy.
do, the company that I use, they do prefer to have the actual audit itself. I mean the actual documents themselves. But if you don't have it, they can pull it up at an address.
Oh, well, never mind then. See?
Perfect. Thank you.
Have it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. On to the next. And then let's keep it more focused towards, again, the subject matter of the last two classes. And if you like the style and, stuff like that, we need those type of questions because, these type of questions, we can answer them, but that's not the information we're looking for. So keep that in mind. The original prompt, and then I'm going to pick somebody else. But everybody who already went, don't feel bad. I'm not trying to shame you. Don't get it twisted. Okay.
Don't get it. That's what's that.
Verna Franks. Verna Franks going once. Okay, there we go.
I'm here. I'm looking for my camera. I'm actually shocked. You see me? I don't know. Anyway, so
we can see you.
Oh, okay. Hope you look okay. So I was looking at my contract. It's with GM Financial, and the first page is just me and my husband. The second page has the covert seller signature, but it's on the page with the itemization. So I know you said they didn't sign it. Would that be considered signed? Because he didn't sign the original with all the information.
No, because the signature has to be the right signature, what actually comes from the trustee. So having the signature on there, it doesn't matter. That is on there.
Okay. Yeah, they sent me a letter saying that it was fraudulent and they don't have possession of the audit.
That's that whole.
Huh? So that's it. Thank
Okay.
you.
No problem.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said. What
Oh,
did
no,
you say at
that's
the
I
end? Because
said
I
that-
didn't hear what you said.
I said they sent me a letter saying that they were not in possession of said collateral bearing tied to my vehicle, but they have for the loan, which kind of contradicts things, doesn't it? But they never send back my SCS, my security either.
Well, you know, they do have a duty to respond, and we'll go over that as well. And who did you send it to?
GM Financial.
And they didn't send it back. Okay.
No.
So now if they didn't send it back, they have 21 days to respond. They did respond to you. At this point, I will personally get an audit or my QSUP number ran on there, and I will now send them if there's an arbitration clause on there, a pre-arbitration lawsuit, and they'll probably act a little differently. Because at the end of the day, did you endorse it on the back?
Yes. And
And you did the pay to the order or the deposit only too?
Yes.
Yeah, at this point, you may have to sue them. Just try to start with a pre lawsuit and see if they'll answer that. I would definitely either get an audit. If you can't get the audit, at least get your QSUP number, because that'll give you the information that you need on there. Utilizing as well as their Trust Indenture Act, make another copy of the security. Okay. Make another copy, stamp it on the front, but on the back, the only thing that I want you to put is paid to the order. And it's GM Financial, right? So whoever their depositor is, so you'll put paid to the order, GM Financial. You will draw the line where your name is supposed to go, and you will put either the word buy with the 2 colons, or you will put the S with the line in front of the S and the line in the back of the S, and then which stands for signature because you're a living person, and then you'll sign your name, get your signature notarized. And then send that back to them along with the intent to sue, and then let me know what happened, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Eric Langford. Eric Langford. Langford. Nope. Okay. Moving on. Mr. Fletcher.
Hey, what's going on? I want to say I appreciate you guys and everything that you do. I definitely want to play whatever I got to play to come into consultation with you all. I did the Navy Federal. I know we beating a dead horse, but they gave me a check to march into whatever dealership to pay. Do I need to keep paying my car note before I do this process?
Okay, you missing me. So they gave you a check, so you went and got the car already?
Yes, I've had the car for a little over a year now.
So they gave you a check. Did you return the title over to them? Did they mail you the physical title and you had to mail it to them?
No, the Lexus dealership took the title and was like, yeah, we'll do everything in the DMV. We'll send all your documents off, et cetera, et cetera. And I did not know at the time. I wasn't aware of the information that you shared or were teaching. So I didn't know that that's something that I could have did myself. But I don't have the title. I believe the DMV has a title and Navy Federal or Navy Federal has a title.
So you just have the car and you got the contract and you're trying to discharge it.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we went over in the last 2 classes.
Yes, sir. So do I? Correct. And I was in the last 2 classes. Do I pay off my car note until I get that process, or do I just immediately ignore the
Well,
car?
you never want to get yourself in a bind. So keep paying it. You'll get the money back when you spend back for it. Anyways, but yeah, never get yourself in a compromising position. You don't want to end up on the repo list. Some people can afford to take certain liberties. I always tell people to keep paying their bills, but what you do is up to you.
No,
until you get it discharged.
I want to pay attention and do exactly what my coach is telling me to do, right? In the military, you call it, we haul it. So, as in sports, and let me know if,
yeah. So I would say keep paying it, just until you get your remedy, so you don't get yourself in a bad position.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And let me know how
you
I
have
need
the
to pay
contract.
attention, please. Sorry, ma'am. What'd you say?
You have the contract, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So pay him.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yep. Stamp it. Pay to the order of. Send it.
Yeah. Do pay to the order on there. So the way that I'm teaching you guys now is the first thing is you want to get done. You want to get the debt paid. Okay. And then we're going to double back so y'all can get your money. Okay. And you'll see from what I'm teaching tonight that when you left the dealership, right, you gave them a gift. And the reason that you gave them a gift is because you did not endorse the note. You left it as a blank note. So do you know that a blank note is considered a bearer? And so if you do a blank note and it's not payable to who it needs to go to, if you get a title from a person that already has liens on there, you have now just taken the responsibility to pay them off. Okay.
Oh.
So the first thing and we're gonna go over that in depth tonight, and I'm gonna show you guys about that.
Okay.
So you gave them what's called a simple endorsement. Okay. And with a simple endorsement, anybody can trade it, anybody can cash it in. Okay. And I know y'all know about valuable consideration, right? Y'all, if you don't know, you're gonna know tonight. Valuable consideration means on both ends, each person has to receive something. Okay. So when you think about you going to get a vehicle, they give you the note, you give it back to them, you got the car, but did you really have valuable consideration? Because if they're still expecting you to pay for the car, it's not valuable. You gave them a security that they're going to send all over the world, right? So they got their money. You got a car. For y'all that been with me for a minute, how I tell you the car is a perk, the house is a perk because of valuable consideration. I give you a note, you give me a car. I give you the note, you give me a house, right? Because there has to be valuable consideration there in order to make it a negotiable note. There are certain components within a contract that makes it negotiable, but depending on how you put your signature will depend on if you left it as a bearer, right? It basically makes you a bona fide purchaser. If y'all ain't never heard that term, write it down, go look it up. You are a bona fide purchaser. But when you don't endorse the note properly, the only thing you got is an equitable title, which means if that title has liens on it and they now have transferred the responsibility to you, you are now responsible for paying their money off. Remember, I said we're paying their loan off. This has nothing to do with us. Okay, that's because you left the note open. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go back and close it because the law says that you can either do it before delivery or after delivery. You just found out. So you can send that back to them and close it out which is why the first step for everybody, let's forget about the trustee right now. Let's forget about your TDA. Let's forget about getting your money back, right? We're going to take this step by step, 1, 2, 3. The first thing you want to do is close the notes so that you can get a clear title. Because you have taken on the dealership's responsibility. And guess what the dealership wrote down on their IRS papers? That you gifted it to them. That's why they don't have to pay tax, because they said that you gifted them the note, because they gave you no valuable consideration at all. And you walked out of there with a note that belongs to the dealership. So the first thing we got to do, when I say we got to go back and change and fix everything, the first thing you got to do is you got to close that note out. Because if the note is not closed out and you try to sue them, you're going to lose. And I'll show you the law that said it. Because technically you don't have a right to sue them because you left the note open. So you only have an equitable title and not a free and clear title. Okay? Got it?
You cut out, Auntie.
How far did I cut out?
Just like in the middle of that last sentence.
Oh, fuck.
You said you left the note open.
Yeah, you left the note open. So the first thing you got to do is go back and close the note so that you can get a perfected title. Okay? And just with your regular signature on there is open. So we'll use Caleb car for an example. When Caleb turned in his note, he closed it because he put paid to the order whoever that bank was. So now that bank can get paid because the bank has the lien on there because the dealership owes them money that they assigned to you. They assigned their debt to you. Close the debt out so you can get valuable consideration. The valuable consideration is always the title, the head title, the supreme title, not the car. The car was like, is a perk. Thank you for giving us a security that we can make money off of. And in exchange for that, we gave you a vehicle.
Oh.
And thank you for paying off my loan because you assigned it properly. So we gotta go back and close these things out so that you can get out of an equitable title and get a perfected title so you can get your title. Then we'll go back and worry about you getting your money back, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Please allow me to thank you and show gratitude. If I need to donate, Caleb, or get consultation, please allow me to do that. Camera J Studio, and Bobby De Moreno is going to be my Instagram. I will thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
Sinfully her.
Hi. So I was wondering, does the valuable consideration work the same way in a total loss claim?
Yeah, because what did you end up with?
Nothing yet. They're asking me to send over the title because the car is a total loss, and they're telling me not to endorse the back.
But they are still the lien holder on the title, right?
No, there's no lien holder. The car is completely paid off.
Oh, so the car completely paid off.
Uh-huh.
Why you? No, don't send them your title.
So they have possession of
Would
the
you
car
send them the
because
title?
well, the car is completely paid off. The other insurance company wants to take possession of the vehicle in order to even disperse payments or anything. So I was wondering, how do I go about that in the correct way?
You still have the contract?
Well, there's no contract. This is the other party because I was in between insurances. So I didn't have insurance on the car at the moment. But the other party, since they're taking responsibility for the car accident and for the wreck, now they want, in order to disperse payment or do anything, they want me to send over the title.
So they owe you. How much money do they owe you? If you don't mind me asking, is it enough for you to send them your title?
13,000.
Send them the title, girl.
Do I endorse
Send
the
them the
back
title.
or?
Send them, nope. Send them the title and get your money, right? Do you
Okay.
still have the original contract for the car?
Yes.
Okay, are they trying to send any of that money to the finance company? Or are they
No.
sending it directly to you?
Directly to me.
Okay, so because they're sending it directly to you, get your money, okay?
Okay.
But then you still want to go back and you want to close it out by still endorsing the contract, even though the car's paid off. Endorse the contract. Send it to the finance company you originally got it with, along with the letter, and tell them that you realize that you have never really paid them because FRNs is not considered a payment. And tell them that you are so sorry that you were ignorant to the law. Now here's your correct payment, and while you at it, I need all my payments back. That's how you do that.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah, and I'm also noticing a theme here. And again, I'd like to focus on the teaching style of the last couple of classes with the questions, because again, repeat questions here when it comes to, okay, I have this type of document, I have this, I have a mortgage, I have a car. If you have the contract, I'm about to answer a whole lot of your questions right now. If you are still in possession of the contract, you can go back and get your money. So if you have a question relating to if you can get money off of a contract that you have, style of teaching, if you learned anything, we need tips on that. We're answering the same question over and over here. And I'm trying to avoid that. So I understand you want to get your questions answered, but a lot of these questions are repeating. So let's, be mindful of that.
I'll take one and we can go. Oh yeah.
Darren L, no? All right.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Caleb. I wanted to give you guys feedback and say I love your teaching style. The Q&A is awesome. I'm just so grateful to be able to ask you guys questions straight up and get your real-time answers. It's amazing. I'm really excited for tonight. I'm a visual learner, so I can't wait to see where to put the words on the paper for me. I've given it a couple tries. I haven't gotten responses from Amex, and I think that's why. It's because I didn't put the right words. And the other reason is I cut off the coupon. So I was really glad to learn that that's considered mutilated, and I'm gonna go back pursuant to the indenture and ask them to replace it, so then they'll know what I'm talking about. And my question was,
well, hold on.
If there was,
I would like to
go ahead.
acknowledge he just learned something from last night. I don't know if y'all caught that, but he said he was going to ask for a replacement of the mutilated statement that he sent in. That tells me that he absorbed something from the class, because you can go back on all of your past statements and do the same thing if you didn't know. But now go ahead and ask your question. I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Yes, so
worth acknowledging.
I love going through as kind of tedious and overbearing as it is, that the indenture agreement. I felt like maybe we got cut off short because it did go long. I had to get to my kiddos and stuff. But I was wondering if there was anything else that maybe you wanted to highlight, like, because I know you talked about like satisfaction and discharge, and there's also an article like remedies, if there's anything else that you wanted to run over on that. But I'm really excited for tonight. Thanks so much. I'll
Absolutely.
take your
See,
answer.
that's what we were looking for. That's more of that. Let's keep those type of questions coming. But to answer your question, we are, like we said in the last class, we're going to provide you with materials, and we will highlight specific sections of the indenture agreement that we want you all to focus on, and those materials will be delivered to you. But thank you for asking the second on subject question, because the very first question we answered was more on subject as well. So thank you, sir. And let's move on to the next. Let's keep those type of questions. Len May.
Man, thank God. I kept on. I was like, man, I'm here. I got a different question because you guys didn't touch on the part. What happens if there's no arbitration clause? Because I got a Toyota, and they had me come back and sign again, and I didn't pick up on it at the table. But when I originally signed with Toyota, there was an arbitration clause, but with Capital One Auto, there wasn't. There's no arbitration clause. So in that type of situation, would I just go ahead and sign, endorse, and then also get an audit to back it up? I mean, and try to just
Okay. So firstly, I would verify that there's no arbitration clause, because even if it's not directly in the new contract, it might be on the website. It might be somewhere in one of their many agreements that you agree to it. And if that's the case, you still proceed the same route. But if there truly is no arbitration clause, then instead of pre-arbitration, you would do a pre-lawsuit, but you would still stamp, endorse, send to the same way, or the same place. But if there's no arbitration, it would just be pre-lawsuit. But yes, the audit would still come into place, and then you would still have to be able to draft your complaint properly, and then you'd be able to move forward from there.
thank you for confirming that. That's what I wanted to know,
And
Caleb.
then-
Thank you for confirming.
And then what happened was, so they found it unlawful and they changed the rules because every contract had an arbitration clause in there, right? Where they said
It
you
was
had to
mandated.
do pre-arbitration first. And so they removed that because they said that it was unlawful. It does not mean that you cannot take them to arbitration. Okay. And when you realize that arbitration is equity
Right.
and law, they gave you an equitable title, right?
Yeah.
But they cannot just make it mandatory. If you want to go to federal court, you can. You want to go to chancery court, that you can. Or you can do arbitration. But they find all of the companies, this happened under the Trump era, where they had to remove the mandatory arbitration clause off of there. Okay. So it's not that you can't take them there. You absolutely can. Like I said,
Yes.
I would not take them to federal court
No.
because federal court it ain't it. If you were here yesterday, we showed you guys where the FDIC lost.
Because
And what they said, not subject to their jurisdiction because
Lack
we're
of
dealing with
subject matter.
equity and law.
No, I'd rather
There you
go
go.
arbitration route. Yeah, definitely go
No,
arbitration.
and then yes, just to confirm, all contracts, consumer credit contracts, that they can be done in arbitration, even if there's no mandatory arbitration clause, because that was removed. But yes, you can still take them to arbitration, and that's for all contracts, just to clarify so that nobody gets confused.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Also, too, I've enjoyed it. I think I linked up with Tamika's classes it was right in January of this year. Yeah, it was probably January of this year.
Oh,
I
so
was
right at the beginning.
Right. And I was in the which one was it? Her first arbitration. And that's where I was like, wow, it's a whole new world, that arbitration, loving it. So yeah, I'm waiting. Hopefully, if you ever post the arbitration replay, and offer that. But that arbitration, that first arbitration class was cool.
I'm gonna actually do a 3-day series on arbitration because arbitration is so dope. And believe it or not, in arbitration, people have tried to fight their own cases. Remember, I told y'all in that class, don't just run out and do what they did. And they went in there talking about billing errors. They went in about private accounting. And you know what the arbitrator said?
I don't believe
that's
it's
hearsay.
So. Hearsay.
Gotcha. Yeah, I want that audit. I need that audit. Sorry to cut you off. I need that audit so I can go at Capital One. I was in touch with you like once or twice, Tamika, and then after that you got to, you've been a little too busy. But I hit you up on IG one time, and we went back and forth a little. I told you I was with Toyota, and they transferred it over, and you said set up an appointment, but you got a little too busy, so I never set up the appointment. But I need the audit, and I can handle it myself. I just need that info on the audit. I'm working with the audits.
I'm
That's
gonna
all.
provide y'all with the link I'm gonna provide y'all with someone to be able to get the audit. And I will tell you that if you get the audit and you construct your document correctly and you send it to them, you want to give everybody a chance to do the right thing, right?
Right.
Even though they done screwed us to the left. So if you do it as a pre-lawsuit, right? And you, I would not attach the full audit, but you take stuff out of the audit so they'll know you have it. I promise you, it ain't been one that has not settled out. They don't want to go to court because now you can prove that they defrauded you from the
Everything
beginning.
that you think that
Uh-oh.
If you keep going out.
Yeah, you got cut off. But I will say this too. Last night, the way you guys broke down the indentured act and the the 10K.
subject matter. Angie Olsen.
Oops, sorry.
Hi.
All right, and this will be the last question.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Thank you very, very much. We're actually from New Zealand. We absolutely love you guys, Tamika. We love you guys to death. We are like you. We're way above the target. We get our stuff missing, our everything, just like you guys with your technology. So we're following you to the T. We're challenging everything. So we're not very well liked. But question, thank you so much for the class. A couple of questions. So in New Zealand, we have nothing like what you guys have. There's no TDA. There's nothing. We've tried. We've searched. We've nothing. We don't have TDA. We can't get fidelity in New Zealand.
So it doesn't sound like this is.
My question is because we have not been able to get hold of. We've tried and tried. This is the first time. Hallelujah. My question then relating to this class, and also if we can have a private session, but with the QSIP, you mentioned the QSIP. So because we can't get TDA in New Zealand and we can't set one up in America, you mentioned the QSIP. How can we get our own QSIP on our documents, and then which means that we don't have to go through the TDA because we should be able to go straight to like fidelity?
You have to do it through a trust.
Yeah, you could. First, thank you from New Zealand. I looked at because I can see the different countries that go on my website, and I was trying to figure out who was my New Zealand people. So thank you for joining us. You guys have been with me for a minute because I seen when you guys actually signed up. Because that's New Zealand, I will have to get with the international banker and let me talk to the international banker to see what steps that you guys will need in order to continue doing what we're doing. Now, because the contract law is all over, regardless to where you're at, you can still properly stamp it, okay? Because your endorsement, the contract is the payment. So you can properly endorse the contract, send it to whatever company it is, so that you can be able to get your proper titles and the contract paid off legally, okay? And then within that process, you can get your funds back, because ultimately that's what you want. You want your money back, okay? You want your money back. So you probably get your money back. Question, do you guys file taxes in New Zealand?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so this would be like so much of an advanced course if I taught that, but there is a way, even for us, okay, for you to file, because technically you loaned that company money. So there's actually a spot on your taxes for you to write to calculate all the amounts that you paid all of these companies. You do not have to show them proof of the receipt, and add it onto your taxes, and then you get it back. So that's the other way that it can be done without you having to incorporate Treasury Direct. But what I've also learned is you guys don't have a physical Treasury Direct there, but the Treasury Direct have foreign offices inside of our office. That's just like every bank has a Canadian one. and they're in because of the treaty that they have with the United States. So it's there. Try to pull the treaty that they have with the United States, because they definitely have one, and it should be in there. But until we figure that out on that end, endorse it so you can get your 100% ownership of your property with sending them back the security, which is actually your payment, because there ain't no money out there neither. There ain't no money nowhere. Okay. And if you can find you an accountant who does taxes, there's a spot. I know what line it is for us. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, where you can add all of these amounts on there so that you can now get your return back from them. But for now, just stamp it, send it to them, and get your liens and your titles released to you, and then demand that they provide you your funds back. Okay.
So
Now, you guys have a Fidelity down there?
No,
we're not allowed.
We're
to
not
join
allowed.
Fidelity.
We're not. We've turned over every stone trying to do what you told us here in New Zealand. It's completely nothing. Like, we don't have any 1099s. It's completely blocked. We've gone on one of our key creditors that we're looking at the moment, which is ANZ Bank, one of the top banks in New Zealand, that we can't find anything. It's like private. It's like just like there's no information. So we thought, well, from what you said, from what we understood, what you said, Tamika, is the reason why we have to go through TDA is so they can actually clean, as it were, and securitize the debt instrument, making it lawful by assigning it a CUSIP. So we thought, okay, if we can get a CUSIP number, that's a CUSIP that and then if we can give it to Fidelity, we're trying to figure out, because we've been to TDA, we've looked at all the tutorials, trying to figure out how to set up an EIN trust, EIN, but at the end of the day, we cannot, because it has to be someone living a US citizen. Even if it's a company or a trust, we can't even do that. So we've tried all sorts of ways. Fidelity, I talked to one of the agents. New Zealand is on their barred list. They cannot operate in New Zealand, which shocked him. So we don't even have, we've been trying really hard to find someone with a stamp, the medallion stamp. At this point, it seems like the closest would be Australia, but we're moving everything. So we thought, if we can get the CUSIP and get it through a brokerage, we're trying to figure out how to get the brokerage of the medallion. And then that brokerage can then, because we think at this point, the way it works is let's say it's Fidelity, they should have a general account with Treasury Direct. And if we come in under as clients, they should be able to take our CUSIP, open that up, and then funnel that through Treasury Direct into our sub account with Fidelity. So that's another thing that we're trying to do. So the question is, can we go directly to some company, wherever, and actually get a CUSIP put onto our documents ourselves?
So, I guess you're going to make me become international now. So give me a minute. Are you guys following me on are you guys following me on social media? Are you on Instagram following me? If you are, can you send me a DM right now?
We'll try, because we've tried and nothing's come back. There's nothing. We've tried and tried and prayed and prayed. And in the end, one of the options we thought is, well, like hell, we're going to get a contract. We will write a contract directly to Treasury directly ourselves. We want a private contract with them, because we just can't, we are completely shut down, blocked. In New Zealand, there's nothing, zero.
So what I'll do is I'll have to get in contact with my international banker connection that I have, and I can't give you an answer to that right now, because for the first time ever, I can say I don't know the answer to this, but I'll figure out the answer for you. So if you follow me, or if you got my email address, can you email me now? Say, hey, this is the New England family, so that I'll know how to contact you back. I will get with my international banker, because the United States does international trades all the time. Okay, so it can definitely be done. We just have to figure out how it can be done. So I'm gonna need you to give me a minute on that, because I'm not going to steer you wrong, and I'm not going to tell you something I don't know, but I can tell you right now that I don't know, but I can tell you right now that I will find out for you. Okay.
Hallelujah. Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you from
Bye-bye.
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Woo!
That's amazing. I love it. Because
You know,
I can see like the different countries. I got people from Africa. I got people from everywhere. And it's a beautiful thing that people are trying to get free. So I'm going to end the Q&A portion for now. Okay, let's get into what needs to be done. Thank you guys who did ask us questions and etc. I'm gonna I'm gonna stop the recording and do it over because this is Q. I don't want it to run. And then I'll start recording again. So hold on.